Oh, hello. Welcome into my workshop and welcome to the show of Creations of Clay. My name is Louis Palladine, and tonight I like to do an animal that everyone is extremely familiar with. It's a walrus, and I'll show you how to make that from start to finish. What I like about the walrus is it looks like a seal, but it has these giant white tusks, which is really cool. And I'll show you the types of clay that we can use. There's an oil-based clay, such as this, which never hardens. It can be, you can use it again and again. This is the one I used to use all the time as a kid. When I got bored with the items I made, then I'd make new ones, and, it never hardens. Another type of clay you can use is an air-hardening clay, such as this, which hardens like in a couple hours or overnight. And what's good about this is once it hardens, you can paint it. My preference for the clay is super sculpey. And what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to use another version of the sculpey, which is called Sculpey 3. And we're going to be using colored clay tonight. And the colors that we'll be using this gray color. We'll be using white. And we'll be using black for the eyes. And I'll show you how the size balls of clay that we'll be using. There's this size right here. That's what we're going to use for the body. And then there's 4 flippers. There's going to be 2 in the front, which are right here. We're going to have the 2 in the back, this size here. And then we're also going to have the 2 white tusks. They're very small. You can see how tiny they are. We're going to use those for the tusks. So I'll show you. We're going to make the body first. So we're going to proceed to make the body. I'm going to take this piece of clay here, and what I'm going to do is just work this, start to make like the tail area, and now I'm going to flip it to this side. I want to kind of start pulling on the clay here so I can make which will eventually become the head. So I'm doing that. I'll show you how I'm just taking my fingers and I'm shaping it. Okay, see how I'm starting to shape? This is going to be the head right here. This is going to be the main part of the body, and then that's going to be like the tail area. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this down on the table now, and I'm going to flatten it out a little bit. Push it down like this on the table. So we start putting the flippers on him. He won't flip over. So we got that. See that? How nice that looks? The next thing that we want to do is I'll show you. We're going to do the flippers. See these flippers right here in the front? We're going to make the flippers there. And then when we make those, we're going to be making the rear flippers. And then I'll show you how to do the flippers in the front first. We're going to take this ball of clay here. So what I want to do is flatten this out. Like that. Make it flat. But now I kind of want to round the shape a little bit. See how I'm making the shape of the flipper? See that? Just kind of take and use my thumb and my finger to kind of make that. Just like that. See how I just did that? We're going to proceed to make another one, but we're going to make this is the left side. We're going to do the right side. So we're going to put that down. See this? Flatten this out, just like that. It's very easy to do. Now we're going to proceed to make that shape that we want for the flipper. See how we're doing that? And what I want to do is I want to get the other flipper and make sure they're approximately the same size. See how they are? So what we're going to proceed to do is now we can attach these to the side of the body. So I'm going to turn to this side. I'm going to take this flipper here, and I'm going to attach it right here. See that? And just kind of push that in like that. See how I did that? And then, I just want to flip that. We're going to proceed to do the other side. So I'm going to attach that right there. So you're going to push that in like that. See how nice that looks? And now we're going to proceed to make the rear flipper. So I'm going to put the walrus down right now, and I'm going to get these 2 balls of clay, and I'm going to take, and we're going to flatten these out again. And I'll show you the shape. See how I'm flattening that out with my fingers? Just like that. Flatten it out nicely. But then what we want to do is make, see that? We want that shape right there. So take your fingers and go around and kind of squeeze it into that shape like that. See how I'm doing that? Flatten it out a little more. But then you work it into that shape. We're going to proceed to make another one of those. I'm going to pick this up. So take that, flatten it out like we did the other one. Just like that. See how easy that is? But now you can see I'm going to take, see that, and create that shape like that. Just like that. And what I'm going to do is pick up the other one. I want to see they're approximately the same size. So see, I'll hold those up like that. See? And what we're going to proceed to do now is we're going to attach those to the bottom and the back. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go like this. And push that like that. See how we're attaching it? And we're going to proceed to do the same thing to the other side. Push it on the bottom like that. See how I'm pushing it? And then what I'm going to do too is take a little bit of the clay here up the top and kind of work it down on top to hold the flipper in place from the top. See how I did that? Take your finger, kind of push that down a little bit. Now, we've got the flippers done. The next thing that we want to do is I just want to maybe shape the head a little more. See, you're starting to create like a snout. See that? Like there's a little bump for the head. I want to kind of do that. See how I did that? See how I created the little snout there? Or nose? It's kind of, then you get like, see how it goes up? We want to do that. And then the next thing that I want to do is, I'm going to get a toothpick here. You know, I like these. We want to do the eyes. So what I want to do is I want to take and put this in right here. And just kind of rotate it like that. And then we're going to proceed to do the other side on the same way. So what I want to do is make sure I line them up. So I kind of take the toothpick, go like this. See that? And I want to make sure I'm putting it in the same location. On both sides. Then another thing that I want to do is I want to create the nostrils in the front. So see this? I'm going to take this here. and do that. See that? And then what I'd like to do is I'm going to put this down now, and I'm going to get some black clay that I have over here, and we're going to create some eyes. So I'm going to pull off a little tiny piece of clay here and roll it into a ball. What I'm going to do is I'll put this down on the paper here so you can kind of see the size. It looks like, I just want to make sure they're approximately the same size. I'll put these in my hands so you can see them. It doesn't stick into my hand. See those? We're going to take and we're going to put those in the holes that we made. So I'm going to take and put I just put that in the first hole, see? And then I'm going to take and I'm going to put it on the opposite side. It doesn't want to be cooperative. It's sticking to my fingers, so it's harder to work with. So I'm going to put this right in here. See how I did that? Don't worry about the proportions. I'm just trying to give you the idea of how to make it. And another thing that we want to do is when we make the flippers now, see these flippers here? I want to take the toothpick and kind of make some little indentations like this. See how I did that? And we're going to proceed to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm going to take, see that? And then we're going to do the same thing, something similar to the tail. See this? We're going to do this. And we'll do the same thing over here. See how I'm doing that? And now what we want to do is we want to create some texture, or the skin of the walrus. So what I'm going to do is take, and we're going to make some lines. So I'm going to take this, and just kind of make like these squiggly lines. See that? And then I want to kind of cross them. See, I'm going like that. I'll just try to work that a little better. I just kind of want to give that some texture. And we're going to do that all around the body. So like here, we'll make some lines here on the flippers. And then we'll kind of crisscross them a little bit like that. See that? It gives us some nice texture. And then we'll just crisscross. And we also want to do the same thing on the flippers here in the front. See I'm doing that? And then you can kind of take and go like that across. And then up around the face, we'll make some smaller lines. But before we do that, I want to finish kind of I want to do the mouth area here. So what I'm going to do is take the toothpick and kind of create, kind of go like that. See that? But then I'm going to take and just make little, I'm going to make like, almost it looks like little whiskers in the front. So I'm going to take, see I'm doing that? And the next thing that we want to do is we want to add the tusks or the teeth. So I'm going to take these 2 white balls of clay, and then what I'm going to do is, it's very small here. I'm going to make it, think of an ice cream cone. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach one of the teeth right here, or the tusk. See how I'm doing that? And I'll proceed to make another one. I'm going to put him down, make the upside down ice cream cone. See that? That's the top of the sharp part of the cone, bottom part. And then what I want to do is I want to attach the other one. See that? Right next to the other one. See how that looks? How we attach that? And I'll show you like what the final version should look like. This is the final version of the walrus right here. And what you want to do is when you make the lines, you want to go all around the body. See how I did that? And you're going to make the little wavy lines, then kind of crisscross. You're going to put lines on the flippers in the back, here, up near the head. And you can see how I put the black eyes. And you can see the 2 white tusks for the walrus. And that's what your final version of the walrus will look like. And I do want to thank you for coming to Creations in Clay tonight. And I do look forward to seeing you again next week. Just one thing I just want to tell you. When you bake this in the oven, it's Sculpey 3 clay. Bake it for about 15 or 20 minutes, at 275 degrees in a regular oven. Now, if you're the children there that are watching this, please ask your parents to do that, and that way it'll be safe and they can show you how to do it. You just need to put it on a piece of tin foil, put it on top of like a cookie sheet, and then you can cook it in the oven like that way. So thanks again, and I'll see you again next week. Goodbye for now.